Well, hello. Today I'm going to be testing out some more bougie materials than I normally use. And I'm going to be recreating this painting on this fancy arches paper that I was gifted. This is just my normal Canson XL cellulose paper sketchbook. And I'm going to be recreating it with the materials I always use. So the stuff that I use in the field, my to-go paintbrushes, and my Winsor & Newton cotton watercolor set. As you can see, it's absolutely gorgeous and clean. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm curious to see how it works out. Let's get started. Okay, so here's the original, and the circumstances that I painted this in were very different. I was sitting outside in the cold, I was doing it quickly, and I was looking at a actual view of the mountain instead of a photo. So there's not necessarily a one-to-one comparison, but here's the new version that I did on the Arches paper. Let me get that in focus. And yeah, like I said, I approached it differently. I don't really feel like I can compare the two, just because I was able to be a lot more slow and methodical for this version since I was inside, warm. I'm looking at a photo, I can really pick out the details. But the Arches paper is definitely a lot more workable than the cellulose paper, and the Arches paper is cotton. It absorbs a lot more water. It has a slightly different texture for the paint to flow on. And I like the fact that it holds water better for longer because it helps create more uniform washes. That being said, I am not married to it. I love my cheap supplies, and I love my, trusty old field sketchbook. That's nothing crazy, nothing expensive. I don't have to be too precious with it. But I will probably start using this Arches paper for some of my bigger, nicer watercolors because I do like the way it feels. I do feel like the Arches paper can take a lot more layering, especially if you let the layers dry in between. But even with some wet paint, I feel like you can kind of work with the paint a lot more without having to worry as much about the paper kind of starting to disintegrate. So that's definitely a benefit of this stuff that could be super useful for some more complicated landscapes or complicated watercolors in general. That being said, use whatever you have, and I like them all. I like all the papers. Super, super cheap stuff. You will notice a difference of the way the paint absorbs and the way that it flows, and the cellulose paper, I don't mind at all, but some of the cheaper paper, you will definitely notice a difference in the quality of your painting. But between these two, I don't think there's that much of a difference, and just stick to what works with you. I think that this works for me when I'm in the backcountry, and when I'm at home, I'll use the bougie stuff.